war. Been in war a lot. Waiting. Oh, should we share this on Instagram real quick? Let me pull this up. Here we go. Creating new live broadcast. The phone lines are open, guys. But before we get into that, let me do this. Hello to all of you. I'm going to drop a link into the Instagram right now. In the meantime, you guys let me know, how does it look? How does it sound? Do you like what Marianne has done to the office here? We're going for the library look, which is pretty cool, I thought. We're just going to have to invest in a lot more books. A lot more books. There are some things going on that I missed out on. I missed out on all the fun and play of the Fujifilm Eterna 55. Let me turn this fan off real quick. Well, down low anyways. Got a new lens. It's the 16-35 f4 power zoom. I've always wanted this lens for like 2 years now. And so we got it. Howard McMillan in the house. Here we go. Looks great. Sounds great. Thank you, Howard. The book look is cool. Thank you. We will let Marianne know she's onto something. Looks organized. We try to be. Yo, hello from Australia, mate. Looking and sounding good. 11 Atkinson. Welcome, welcome. Smiles Pro Universe. Welcome, welcome. I'm going to drop the link real quick on the YouTube. We have to look at some things. Let me go to screen share. Whoops, that's what we don't want to look at. There's the chat right there. And we do want to talk about this thing. The Fujifilm GFX Eterna 55. Now look, this kind of flew by my radar a little bit, and really the reason why is because, well, this price tag of 16.5, that was something that my brain just goes, eh, I just skim right over it. You know, because in my brain, I'm like, I don't know, like, it's the same as like when a new Arri camera comes out. I just like, I look at it, but I'm not like deep diving into it. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like, I'll never fucking own this thing. I don't need to deep dive into it. It's cool to be aware of it. I was aware of it, but I didn't like fully understand what was on the inside. Because I do, like, this is the biggest thing we must talk about, is that from the outside, I really do think that this camera is like a feat of engineering from the outside, right? Because, you know, you look at this thing and you go, wow, dude, they fucking took every great idea from every camera on the outside, like the way the camera is built, the form, the function, the I/O. They took like every camera and smashed it together. I mean, look at the cheese plates on top of this thing. It's crazy, dude. Like the design of this is so rad. And even like this little ass grip, you know, the ass grip, look at this weird little, you know, and I think the Raptor has something like this, right? Like, or one, like some of the, I remember like one of the Reds having something similar to this like weird rear ass grip. You're like, damn, that's rad, dude. And they got the ND, and the ND also controls the fizz. And let me show you this around the side. Okay, so it's got a V-mount, right? But when you flip around to the side here, not to mention all the locking points on the bottom, the top, look at the two cheese plates on the top. Okay, but hold on. That's not what I want. Now, oh yeah, the top handle. This is what I mean. Like, oh, okay, you know that FX6 top handle? Yeah, let's take that, but let's make it better. And they got a fucking cheese plate top handle, basically making this thing way better than the FX6 top handle, honestly. This LCD screen I'd like to know more about because it eerily looks a little too close to the FX6, but hopefully it has better specs than that. But this is what I wanted to get to. This side load battery, this is genius because we know it already has the V-mount, right? It already has the rear V-mount plate. But then to put like this, first of all, to make it side load is pretty rad, I think. But then also like to know that, okay, man, does this mean this camera is hot swappable? Like always a hot swap. I love that. Like I just love everything about this camera. But then what fucking kills it is when you find out what's on the inside. And so this is what we're going to get into, because this is why there's like this theory, kind of, not theory, but you know, why some people claim that this isn't actually a real cinema camera. And I fucking agree with that 100%. And this is what we want to talk about. Right now, sorry guys, I'm just putting this on the Instagram here. I know, I'm a fucking shameless little whore. Okay, okay, let's see what's going on in the live chat here. Need some book statues and greenery. Yeah, well, there's more levels to it. So there actually is, there is greenery on it, but it goes higher than me. I'm just sitting down. Bookcase statues. Yeah, I feel you. Yeah, 16.5 is too cheap for you, boss. Yeah, that's right, bro. That's why. I'm like, this is fucking chump change, bro. I fucking give that to the fucking valet every Friday night. Are you kidding me? Yo, good day, mate. Stuart Monroe in the house. Stuart, you have another Aussie friend in here. Levin Atkinson is here. Gung Ho. Yo, Jason Morbies. I've spent too much time looking into the Raptor XE. It's a perfect upgrade from my Komodo X. Still, it's 15K. Yeah, 100%. I mean, if you're in this ballpark, the Raptor XE makes way more sense. Because, guys, this thing doesn't even have internal RAW. But more than that, I want to share with you guys what Phil Holland said about this camera. Because remember, like, Phil Holland is like the guru in the industry here. Look at what he wrote about it. Can you guys see this? I'm excited that Fujifilm is coming into the production camera space. I'd say this is an okay first effort. But it's going to be a real tough sell with other things in that price point being rather good and alarmingly close in sensor size. The difficult bits are 10-bit, slow readout. We all knew that. He's talking about the rolling shutter. But this is nuts. OpenGate is binned 4K and no RAW. Okay, just those two things back to back. OpenGate is binned 4K. There is no RAW. It's 422, and the 8K mode is smaller than full frame. So apparently the 8K mode is APS-H, which is the Komodo size sensor, which is, I believe, a 1.3 crop, right? He said, but the sensor is a good one, and I enjoy it. If those specific things don't scare you away, it will, of course, make nice images. This is different from the GFX still bodies, as there is a low-pass filter in there, too. So they put the low-pass filter in there. But look, like, you combine, like, look, okay, and surely even more competition in this general price point. There's a market out there for this, but it's a tricky one in the higher end space for sure. Okay, so let's back up here real quick. So he's saying it's OpenGate is binned 4K. And then you combine that with the fact that they put the low pass filter in there, which is great. It's great to put the low pass filter in there. But the binning, the 4K binning is insane to me. That is insane to me. So you combine the binning, the 4K binning with the low pass filter. Now you're talking about a double soft image, right? But also one that potentially could have problems with moire because of the binning. So maybe that was another reason why they put the low pass filter in there, not just to cut down on sharpening, but hopefully to help out with the moire that the 4K binning would be doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like, wait, what? Wait, what? You know, it's like, wait, what? This is supposed to be like the fucking, you know, like what do they call it down here? Advanced large format video capture, right? But then it's 4K binned, and the actual full sensor of it is not even, wait, what did he say? He said 8K mode is smaller than full frame? APS-H? None of this makes sense. None of this makes sense to me, and how they can turn around and sell this as advanced large format video capture. This is crazy to me. So, you know, that's what I mean. It's like, wait. And it's like, the camera looks so good though. It has everything we want from the outside. Like, this is the camera. You look at this thing like you would go, wow, this thing is probably going to win an award for the way that it was like designed and like set up. Just the build of it. I'm talking about the build of it, right? You look at this thing and you go, holy fuck, this camera's got everything. And then you see what's on the inside, and it's like a stab in the heart, man. It's crazy to me. This is crazy to me. And to charge, here's the other thing, to charge 16.5. To charge 16.5 for what this camera offers from the inside. It's like, dude, are we paying that much for what the outside offers us? You know what I mean? Like, do those cheese plates cost that fucking much? Because if not, no thanks, right? Because the thing is limited to 10-bit. I mean, at that point, dude, with the APS-H sensor, the 4K, I mean, dude, your FX3 isn't even gonna bin 4K, you know? And so I know people are probably like, whoa, this turned into like a crazy rant session right out the gate. But it is kind of, you know, like, I hope you can feel like the, it's crazy to me, right? Like, it's just wild to me to sit here and go, they designed this camera so well from the outside, and then just to see the inside just get nuked. You're like, dude, what is the disconnect here? I don't get it. And certainly for this price point, for what it's offering on the inside, I think any other option would be way better for way less money than this. Am I crazy here, guys? 10-bit for 16K? Thank you, Trevor. That's what I'm saying, bro. This is insane to me. Nothing should be binning in 2025. Thank you. You know, and then when I thought about that, I was like, dude, I was like, hold up. Because, you know, I downloaded the Nikon ZR footage. I went and downloaded it off the website, and I've been playing with it. And then I thought, wow, this shit looks soft to me. So then I started thinking like, oh my God, it's the Nikon ZR binning too, but it's not, it's oversampling. But the Nikon ZR footage did look a little soft to me. I don't know what that is. It looks soft. Like if you guys go to their website and download the footage, is there something wrong with my computer or something? Because I'm like, dude, it looks soft. And I never have proxy mode turned on. I never have proxy mode turned on. I was looking at like the full resolution image. Anyways, that's a different camera. But yeah, it's crazy that this thing is binning and and only offering 10-bit. Rolling shutter also weak. Yes, what up, Michael Kakoff? Yeah, I mean, that's a given with I think they said it was like 15 milliseconds. You know, at that point, again, you might as well just get an FX3, you know. Red Raptor X new version is around the same, and I think it's the better deal probably. Oh, 100% Paul Pisolea. Red V Raptor X. Yeah, dude, 100%. At least you're going to get raw with that thing, and you're actually going to get way more bits than 10-bit. I mean, come on. Red Raptor VX. So, you know what I mean? You know what I feel like this camera is, wait, what did you call it? What is it called? Red V Raptor X. Oh, it's the Vista. What's the V Raptor? That's the Vista Vision. They probably don't even sell it on B&H, huh? This thing right here, 30 grand. Oh, wow, this one's way more, dude. But yeah, I mean, you get what you pay for. You know what I mean? You're going to get, like, this thing I think has 16-bit, right? Something like that. Yeah, insane. Insane. This camera, 100%. If you are throwing around that cash, 100%, this would be the better, stronger choice. For so many reasons. For so many reasons. I mean, come on, guys. Global shutter alone. I know everyone gets on to me about the rolling shutter thing, but global shutter will change your life. It will change your life. I was thinking again about this today when I was thinking about this fucking Fujifilm camera and its rolling shutter issues, right? I was thinking about this today because I always think about like when people get on to me about, you know, being, you know, such a hater of rolling shutter. And I thought about this again, another great example. If you don't believe in rolling shutter, here's another wonderful example. Take any little shitty mirrorless camera. You know, I think of this one that I'm using right now, the A7C2. Horrible rolling shutter in the A7C2. It's the same sensor as the A7 IV, FX2. They're all the same camera. FX2 and the A7C2 are the same exact sensor. So we both know that the rolling shutter is horrendous, right? If I put a zoom lens onto this camera right now and I go outside and I'm trying to do handheld with a zoom lens while I'm kind of getting creative with the zoom lens, wow, dude, wow. You will notice the rolling shutter. And if you don't, I can't help you at all. You know, trust me, you will see it, right? You will see it. And I just thought, wow, that's another good example. Because I just see that every time I'm on a smaller camera, like this A7C2, for instance, right? Because I fuck around a lot with zooms. I use zooms all the time. And then then I probably maybe the argument would be, well, who's like doing whip zooms handheld? A lot of people, motherfucker. Like everybody's shooting documentaries. Like most people from the 90s do like handheld zoom shit. You know what I mean? It's just the reality of it. It doesn't seem to be super popular now, although I think now the younger hip kids are leaning into it because they realize like, oh, it's nostalgic or whatever. But I, you know, any skater kid, any skate rat, you know, from the early 2000s always did zoom handheld, you know, but that's the easiest way to see crazy rolling shutter from a shitty camera. But yeah, I mean, 100%, this camera is going to offer a million things more than this Fujifilm Eterna 55. I mean, granted, you know, it's like twice the price, right? So you are paying more. Is this the camera you're talking about? Because this is twice the price, right? But yeah, I do think that twice the price is worth it. I also don't think this camera should be priced this high, though, knowing what we know about what the insides offer. I'm talking about the Eterna 55 now, if you're just listening to this. We came back to the Eterna 55. I'm just saying, like, for what we know the inside of this offers, no way, dude. No way, dude. This should be like maybe 10 grand just because of the amazing way that they put it together and like all the IO and the features of the actual machine itself. Like, again, beautifully built camera here from the outside. But the inside, come on, dude. This is not worth 16.5. No way, dude. It's a Trojan horse. Kadeem, it's a Trojan horse. 100%, dude. That's hilarious, dude. Yeah, it's a 6 to 7K camera, Trevor says. Just what the fuck, Michael in the house, Michael Kakoff. Yo, sensor size is cool. Battery hot swap is okay too with the internal small battery. Yeah, if you just got here, I was harping on that at the beginning. I love it. I love the way it's designed. I love everything about it. Even this ass grip in the bag, it's cool. The whole thing is cool. The inside is atrocious though. Yeah, V Raptor XE. Oh yeah, V Raptor XE. Oh, Red Raptor XE. How many of these motherfuckers do they have, dude? Where's the XE one? Let's see if I can, let's see. Red Raptor XE. So that's an even cheaper one. Oh, wow. Does it have PL mount? No PL mount. It's only Nikon or Canon RF. I guess you could put a PL mount on it, right? Oh, because these are both locking. So yeah, you could like stack the mounts. It sucks that Red doesn't keep doing that thing. Like, I like how Red used to have the mounts where you literally would swap the mounts, because now you're just going to be stacking mounts. This is also a problem. You know, this is a problem too. Why the fuck do these cameras, why do any of these Red digital cinema cameras, you right? Like one of the leading cameras in Hollywood, why the fuck now are they not coming with PL as an option? That's crazy to me, right? Because now you're stacking adapters. Like, this is nuts. Like, who the fuck wants to put a PL on top of an RF or a Nikon Z mount? And I know it's locking, but who cares? Now it's double locking. It doesn't matter. You're still stacking. You're still going to have flange distance issues, right? Am I crazy? No, I don't think so. I think that's a real thing. You know, like, that's going to be an issue. That's going to be a problem. I think that's nuts, right? I do think it is nuts. Oh, look. But again, this is an adapter. This is an adapter, dude. It's cool that they put an ND in there, but the PL, I'm talking about the PL adapter. Like, why not make one that comes with PL mount? And that's what I skipped over myself. I was saying, like, Reds used to be cool where you could literally unbolt the mount and bolt a new mount on. That was rad how they used to do it. We've gotten away from that. You know, it's like, oh, good God. So yeah, I mean, 20G still, I know that's like a nitpicky thing, but either way, man. 19.9, yeah, I think I would save up the extra pennies and get the Red over this thing. This is the one you're talking about right now, right? XE. What's the difference anyways? Oh, this one doesn't have global shutter. Oh, it does have global shutter. Dude, who cares then? Global shutter, 17 plus stops, red code raw and ProRes. Okay. 8 millisecond shutter scan time. Right side assistant user interface, supports up to 8K 60, 800 megabytes per second of video. Yeah, this thing's nuts, dude. Yeah, this thing's insane. This is a real cinema camera. You know what I mean? This is, I mean, I'm sorry, but to pay $16.5 and the camera doesn't even have the capability of doing internal RAW, it's like, dude, the Sigma FP has internal RAW. What is going on here? What is happening? What is happening? I don't get it, dude. Okay, yeah, the Nikon ZR has received 3 times more pre-orders compared to the C50. What is up, Sinnerman? Do you think Canon will make a price cut? The C50 still feels better for me. Hell no. Hell no. Hell no. Canon C50 is not going to take... They're not going to do that. I've never... Why do people think that? Are they known for, like, cutting prices for competition? I mean, dude, like, who would do that? You know, because imagine if imagine if Mercedes did that, right? They're like, oh, damn, look at the cars that, I don't know, BMW is making or whatever. Then they're like, let's cut our brand new one. Let's discount our brand new car. People would be like, why are they discounting that brand new car? You know what I mean? Like, it's not a good look, like, marketing wise. Like, it just doesn't look good. And maybe, like, yeah, maybe users would be like, oh yeah, they cut the price. But it, like, in the market world, in the grand scheme of things, like, people are gonna be like, yo, what the fuck are you guys doing? Like, that's not a good look, man. So no, I don't know. And maybe I'm crazy. Look, what the fuck do I know? But I just think that it would be crazy of them to do that when it technically hasn't even started selling yet. Like, it's still in pre-order mode. New item coming soon. That would be crazy to see them slash the price. Look, it would be cool if they did, I'm not gonna lie. But I don't think that would realistically happen. And also because it's Canon. And I feel like Canon is not fucking bothered at all by, like, anybody. And I think that's why they drag, you know what I mean? Like, if you think about, like, them and, I don't know, I just feel like Canon is a juggernaut, and I feel like juggernauts don't care. You know what I mean? Like, they're not bothered by, because the Canon army is still strong. You know what I'm saying? So, like, there are, I don't think they're hurting. You know what I mean? I don't think they're hurting. Or I also don't think they're scared of this little ZR camera either. You know what I mean? Like, because I think, here's my opinion on this, right? Like, if I was legitimately, look, the Nikon ZR is no doubt, like, an amazing little camera, especially for the price, right? Like, what is the price of this thing again? Like, it's insanely cheap, right? Let's see. Oh, Nikon. It's the Nikon. Right here, Nikon Z. Okay, so $2,200, right? Yes, man, this is a great little camera. It's so cool, all the things it offers. But honestly, guys, it's like what I talked about before. Like if I was starting all over from scratch, I don't think I would invest in this. I just don't. As cool as it is, look, and I mean like investing in it as like, dude, I'm a fucking DIY dude. I'm starting up from nothing. I'm just like, I want to make my own movies. I want to do documentaries, all the same shit, you know, all the same shit. And those are the people that are going to get roped into buying this. And those are the same people that I feel a little bit bad for, because as cool as this camera is, it's just like a niche camera. This is like your starter camera, right? So that's cool. Like if you just want a starter kit, okay, go get your starter kit. But from talking to you about someone that went through what, 4 different starter kits, that's such a fucking waste of time and money, right? And this is how they do it. So either there's only 2 ways to get out of it. Either you invest into Nikon, and now you're invested into Nikon, which maybe that's cool now that red is under them, right? Okay, so maybe that is a good thing to get into. But I don't know. What else does Nikon make? Like, you know what I mean? Like, but then you couldn't. So then you go, fuck, now I got to go big. Now you got to invest in red. And so, yeah, you could do that. You could do that. And then this would turn into your B camera. Do you have red money though? Because red is like big money, and not just the camera. It's everything that goes with the fucking camera. You know what I mean? And then it's all big money. It's all big money. It's in, right? So that's where these other cameras like this, the Canon C50, the FX6, that's where those cameras come in for the real hardcore DIY guys, where they're just like, hey, if you like can get past this kind of starter kit mentality and look at it more as like, you know, like coming out the gate, like, you know, you the boss, you know, it's a little different, you know, and you're like, you could get something like this, which is way more advanced than the Nikon ZR. It just is. I'm sorry, but it is. And when I say advanced, I mean in terms of the type of tool it is and the features that the tool offers. Right? If you're a real grinder, dude, I'm talking to you. If you're a real grinder and you know what I'm talking about, dog timers all the way. You know what I'm saying? You're doing it. You know, you don't have a fucking 5-ton truck sitting out of your jobs. You got fucking 3 guys showing up with their, you know, whatever little tool bag they got, and you're hammering it out together. You know what I'm talking about, right? If you're one of those people, these are the cameras that are going to suit you better and get you further along down the line. I'm just speaking to you honestly. The C50, the FX6, these type of all-in-one packages, right? Versus something like this that to me is a niche camera. It is a starter pack. And starter packs never last long. You're going to grow out of it. You're going to instantly grow out of it, right? But look, if you're already invested in the red system, this is now your new crash cam or your whatever. You know, you buy an autofocus lens. Now this is your everyday carry camera, whatever you want to call it, right? Those are the only 2 markets for this camera. I've been saying that from the beginning. It's either the people that are going to get it roped into this starter pack for first camera ever, or it's the people that already love Nikon red and they're all, oh, they're in it. They're in it, boy. They're in it. And that's fine too. There is nothing wrong with that. I almost became one of those people, right? But it was other cameras that offered me more for well, cheaper price compared to red. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I know we go down rabbit holes, man, but that's how I feel about it, guys. I don't think that Canon's, that's my long-winded way of saying, no, I don't think Canon is going to drop the price on this. I don't think they're bothered by this ZR at all. I could be crazy, but I don't think they are. Let's see. Is FX3 not good these days? Bill Brasky, FX3 is still good. Bro, what you talking about, bro? FX3 is, dude, it's fine. And this is another thing too. You know, it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter, you know, they're all good, right? And this is another reason why I'm like, fuck, dude, this is, it's also not just like the fact that like, dude, I would never spend that much money on a camera that offers me so little from the inside, like this Eterna 55, but it's also more the fact that like, you know, like, I don't know if you guys follow Matteo Bertoli. He's one of my favorite guys on YouTube, by the way, but Matteo is like, he does really good work, but he's like a Blackmagic guy, and that's fine. You know, he's been a Blackmagic guy since the beginning. He never bailed on them. So kudos to him for sticking with something. But he did a great video years ago. I think it was years ago now, where he talked about like, he never would spend more than $5,000 on a camera. You know, and it's kind of a cool video to go check out, and it made a lot of sense. You know, it's like, yeah, dude, like that's a great that's a great like code to stand by. Like, yeah, dude, I'm never gonna spend more than $5 grand on a camera. You know, and look, and nowadays, dude, this C50, I mean, that's a hell of a package that you can get for 39. I mean, honestly, I think that C50 is a great package for the price, right? For everything that this tool offers. But, you know, me personally, I don't know if Canon is a solid choice to invest in, and just because of how fucking expensive their lenses are. Their lenses are insanely priced. I don't know why Canon charges so much for their lenses, but they do. They just their prices are way more than G Masters ever dreamed of being. You know, they really are. It's crazy to me. And then if you start looking in their like power zooms, like their servo zooms, insane prices, like 17 grand or something, like just crazy prices. I don't know why the glass is so expensive, but it is. And I think it always has been. I could be wrong about that, but and that could be a thing to deter you away too, because you got to think long wind, you know, long run. You know, it's a fucking marathon, man. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like, you know, rewind 7-8 years ago when I first started buying cameras and shit, you're like, dude, I could fall into this trap. This is a tempting trap to fall into, but this is strategically planned. This is a strategic trap, right? This is on purpose, right? This is by design, you know what I mean? And that's fine. That's cool. It's cool. And it's really cool, and it benefits you the most if you're already in the Nikon red ballpark, you know, if you're already in that ecosystem, then it's cool. Because look, I've sat here and gone, fuck, dude. Like, it almost got me, you know what I mean? And I'm going, yeah, I could sell all my Sony shit, because I fucking hate the Sony army. I hate the Sony army. I hate all of them. And it's mainly because of threads, right? They're all just animals. They're animals. Like, all the Sony guys are animals. And I'm like, I don't want to be associated with any of those cocksuckers, dude. So I'm like, that's one of the reasons why I would be so quick to get rid of Sony. But at the same time, I'm just like, dude, I don't know, man. Like, it's like, it's just one of those systems that now it's a poison that I've ingested. You know what I mean? Let's just hope the poison doesn't turn me into the ogres that the rest of them are on threads. Let's hope and pray for that. But I seriously have sat here gone, man, maybe I should sell my FX6 and my A7C II and get back into this system over here. You know, and it's because of this camera, man, this goddamn ZR camera. It does that. You know what I mean? It's by design. It's made for a reason more than just like, hey, this is a really cool tool, right? This is like, hey boys, come over here. You know, this is the creepy guy in the van with the ice cream. You know what I'm saying? It really is. That's what it seems like. Holy shit, dude. Oh man. Yo, so Saul says, I really want to love the Nikon ZR, but much of the footage online seems disappointing. I judge image quality with my eyes and not what people say. I'm glad you mentioned that, because I went and downloaded the footage. You know, and I was going to show it. I was going to show the ZR footage on here, but there's a big thing on their website that makes me a little nervous, you know, and I worry that if I was to show it in a video or something, I feel like they would come after me or something, or flag the video. So I'm not going to, like, I wanted to like play around with it on a live, you know, in Resolve, but I'm just really nervous to do that, because they have stuff all over their website basically telling people not to do that. But it did look soft. The footage looks soft to me. So you guys should download it. You can download it on the Nikon website, dude. You can go download the footage. And it looked, I don't know why, dude, but it looks soft to me, man. The footage looked crazy soft to me. Like, and I couldn't figure out what, I thought it was like a setting in Resolve. And I was messing around in there for a minute, and I couldn't figure out why it looked so soft. But down here at the bottom, they do make you give them, they do make you give an email address though, and it locks you in. It locks you into you'll see when you do it. When you sign up to get this footage, yeah, dude, you signed your life away to get that footage, bro. I'll tell you that right now. At least I did. And look, this is cool what they offer too, this grip. See, all this shit is this is tantalizing. You know, you're like, oh, good, dude, they got the FX6 grip. But then you start going, but then where would that go on the ZR? It's like double grip. It looks so stupid, dude. It's like boop, boop, two little bumps on the same side. But then you'd have to like put it down low. It would still look weird having both grips on one. I don't know. It's cool that they offer that though. But go download the footage. You guys tell me if it looks soft. It looked a little soft to me, man. It feels it was designed like 8 years ago. What was designed 8 years ago? The 55? We got two zipped around here. That is crazy. I wish it was offered in PL. It's still going to be my next camera, probably. The XE is basically the Raptor X with less processing power and not as many frame rates. So you really looking at that XE, huh? Oh, did we get rid of it? Oh, man. We got rid of all that. Damn it. The Eterna 55 comes with PL mount, plus the 16.5 is full package, EVF and top handle. Dude, Linu loves Fuji though, dude. Linu loves them. I don't know, man. I'm too disappointed in what, you know, 4K binning, no internal raw. No thanks, dude. No thanks, dude. I mean, look, I love the way they designed the thing, but no thank you from the inside. What did he say? Canon don't do price cuts. That's what I'm saying. Eterna 55 comes with internal ND, plus it boots up instantly. Dude, the FX6 boots up instantly. That don't matter, dude. 2200. 2200. Oh, the ZR, yeah. And the Lumix hype among influencers disappeared because of the overheating. They fucked over their followers. Lumix hype among influencers disappeared because the Lumixes overheat. Is that what you're saying? I don't follow Lumix stuff at all. If you're going to do cinema, get a cinema camera, not a mirrorless. What up, Derek Morrison? You rig up mirrorless with money. Why do that when you can just start filming with a cinema camera and a lens like the C50 and FX6? Yeah, that's 100% what I'm saying. Yeah, and I don't even know if I would qualify the FX6 as a cinema camera either, just because like I really have here's one of my own self-proclaimed rules to be a cinema camera is that it must be able to record raw internally. I think that's like that should be a given, right? And there are a lot of cameras specifically in the Sony market that can't do internal raw, and I have a big problem with that. So even knowing that, like that's the one thing that makes me be like, the FX6 feels more like a video camera to me. And it's really just because I hate this idea of external raw. I think that kills. And for me, like for a camera that costs $16,500 and it still can't do internal raw, get the fuck down the road, bro. You know? Yo, Pixis 12K looks also like a good option. Oh yeah, so this has been blowing up, right? I think it was Trevor that was saying the Pixis 12K has been blowing up his For You page on YouTube. And this just came out, right? Like this is brand new, right? This one just dropped. When did this one drop? Or has it been out for a minute? The world's most riggable full-frame digital film camera. Dude, they're so hyped on their marketing, man. I love it, dude. Yeah, dude, this fucking camera, dude. I don't know, man. I'm so anti... You guys know how I feel about Blackmagic, dude. You know, they did the whole influencer thing. I was really disappointed in that, bro. And you want to know why I felt so like I felt like I had been pulled a fast one on, because I gotta look. This is also some weird strategic bullshit that they did, right? If you go back, who was the first influencer they gave the Pixis to? It was Patrick O'Sullivan, the Wandering DP. Dude, he's a badass. He's a badass, right? He is a YouTuber, but he's not really someone that I look to as a YouTuber, right? Like he's still a working commercial cinematographer. He's down under, but he's still a working commercial cinematographer, right? And I say he's down under because he's from Australia, right? So not that negates, you know, but it kind of does. Like, look, he moved down there for a reason, right? Like I'm sure he moved down there for a lot of reasons, but one of the things I think of is like, well, the market's probably smaller there, you know, than somewhere like fucking LA or New York. Right? Let's just be real. But at the end of the day, he's still working, right? And he does good work. He does good work than I do. He does good work than most of you guys do, right? Like he does good work. So it was cool to see Blackmagic working with him. And I thought, oh, okay, they're doing like the cool Sony thing, right? Like when Sony, well, we all know Sony is a bunch of influencer grubs too, but like, you know, Sony did that with the big DP. I forget who it was, way bigger than Patrick, honestly. It was, you guys know who the big Sony guy is. Fuck, I can't remember his goddamn name, but someone in the chat will let me know. You know, the guy that always does the big things with the Sony. He's got like long white hair. Damn, I mentioned him in a video before. I forget his name now. So sorry, he's in the ASC. So he's a little bit higher up than Patrick, right? But anyways, to say all that, like I got pumped. I'm like, oh yeah, cool. Like they're not gonna fucking do the influencer thing with Blackmagic, you know? Because I thought, oh, I Wander DP again. Maybe I'm an idiot for thinking that Patrick isn't like a real influencer, right? I just didn't really feel like he's that kind of influencer. He clearly is, but I just thought he was like a little different. And I do think that other people perceive that too, because that's why Blackmagic did the thing with him first, right? You know what I'm saying? So obviously there is some truth to that all around. But then Next thing you know, it's like every fucking other YouTuber is getting the camera and doing the same video about it. And then you're like, oh man, come on, dude. You know, like you just felt a little bit like, like you had a fast one pulled on you because you thought like they were doing something cool. And I know that's like, I think I got a lot of hate for that because people are like, dude, you come up with the craziest shit to like hate against a camera company. And I guess that is true, right? That is true, right? I guess it's wrong of me to look at the character of someone, you know what I mean? But I think, but true, like as funny as it sounds, it's also true though. Like I do mean that honestly. Like I understand that, like, yeah, we can't look at companies like the same way how we judge people, right? That's a little fucked up, right? Because companies are companies. They're gonna whore themselves out however they can. We all know that, right? Like we all know that. They all do it. It's like, okay, that's fine. Okay, that's cool. But also at the end of the day, like I'm just I'm also not that impressed knowing that, well, before the 12K came out, obviously, but we knew with the first version, we knew that it was just a repackaged thing. Like we knew what it was, right? It was just the 6K in a different package, right? And that's fine. Sony's been doing that for years too. You know, like this A7C II I have is the same camera as the FX2, right? But they can just sell the FX2 and put a cinema label on it, or whatever they want to do. But yeah, this 12K thing, but here's a question too. Like, does this have, like, what happened to the RGB sensor, right? Like, what happened to that? Did that just like nosedive completely? Has it not come out yet? And like, I felt like last time I was on here, people were like, yeah, dude, it's already out. And it's like, no one is mentioning that thing at all. Like, where were the influencers on that? Like, I don't know. Like, it's weird to me. Like, you would think like that sensor, the RGB sensor, would be the thing that like the whole internet is talking about. And it's just like, I don't know what happened to that. I honestly don't know. Nikon ZR is a red action cam. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like if you are already a red guy, 100%. I mean, in the 4K range, would the FX3 not make sense to get today compared to everything else? In the 4K range, I think a lot of people would avoid it because of, you know, the fact that, dude, you're like, for instance, like if you were to go to B&H right now, I'm not saying this is what you would do, but if you were to go to B&H right now and you'd be like, man, my grandma gave me this money and I'm going to buy this FX3 for $4,300 for the FX3A. Okay. So you buy this camera, dude, what is it right now? It's October. Dude, by February, they're going to have the new one out and you're going to be like kicking yourself in the ass. So I think that's why, and also too, like, you know, the YouTubers have to like stay in the algorithm. We got to stay topical. But no, like just because like no one is talking about this camera anymore, it doesn't, but also no, I wouldn't advise you to spend $4,300 on this brand new. Now, if you go on eBay and you find one for like $3,000, then dude, yeah, why not? Like, who cares? It's still a great little camera. But again, look at this one you could get on the bid. It's 2174 right now, but it's also like, wait a second, dude, like this is still a mirrorless body. You know what I mean? This is still like going to give you a lot of hiccups, right? Again, so you look at the price of this thing and you're like, that's a lot of money, but then it's like, why though? It's so limiting by what it offers you. Any mirrorless camera body is limiting to you, right? I'm not just saying that for this. I'm just saying like, look at this thing, right? And just look at the ease of ability. And I'm talking to someone that's been shooting on the FX6 for over a year. It's like, dude, the camera offers so much that I could never imagine having to go do something with only like a camera like my A7C II. Right? A camera that is a mirrorless camera, right? Because at this point, they're all the same to me. I don't care, right? I think that's one of the reasons why I'm not bothered by the ZR to the point that most people are, because I'm like, it doesn't matter though. It's still a mirrorless camera. Like, look at it. It's going to present you with so many problems when you try to use this thing in a professional way. And that's why. It's not supposed to be used in a professional way. That's what they're going to tell you. And it's like, great. So why the fuck do we need to buy it? Right? Like, that's my answer. It's like, okay, if it's not supposed to be used in a professional manner, then why the fuck do we want to spend money on it? Certainly $2,200 when I could take that $2,200 and put it towards something that I can use in a professional setting. And it's not going to make my life a living hell. Right? Doesn't that make way more sense? Right? So this is the war I find myself in with people, because every time I talk about something that seems to be negative about something, they always want to say like, well, yeah, that's because it's not meant for professional sets, right? There's other influencers out there that have said this to me. Influencers that you know that I've had a war with, who've literally said this to me. It's not meant to be on a professional set. Okay, then why the fuck are they sending it to me? Why the fuck are we using it? Why the fuck are we telling people to spend money on it if it's not supposed to be used on professional sets? I'm sorry. Okay, just because I'm DIY and, you know, sometimes I work for day rates that are like a third of what anyone else would work for, that doesn't like take away the fact that I'm still working on a set. You know what I mean? There are directors there, there are producers there are people putting money into it that isn't mine, right? And I'm getting a paycheck at the end of the day. Those are professional sets, whether, you know, it doesn't matter if it's for a fucking Apple commercial or if it's somebody's, you know, like short film, 48-hour film festival, right? It doesn't matter. It's all the same shit. You're still on set, right? So being on set is being on set, right? So you can't just judge the work of someone else. And that's the reason why, like, oh, they're not on a, they think they're on a real set. They're not. No, motherfucker, it's all real sets, right? It's all real sets. It doesn't matter what it is, right? I don't care if it's a fucking corporate video and it's just you sitting there and you got one camera and one light blasting on their face. I don't care. It's a set, right? A set is a set. If you're getting paid and it's money that's not yours going in your pocket, it's a set, right? It's a professional set is what I'm saying, right? And that's a crazy argument to sit here and go, okay, and not to mention it says cinema camera on it. And then to go, well, it's not supposed to be used on a professional set. Then why the fuck are we going to tell people to buy it, right? That's what I'm saying, right? And so when you think about that and then you look at something like this or the FX6, yes, it's designed ready to go out the gate. I don't have to worry about it, right? I don't have to sit here and go, well, what am I going to do about like rigging stuff? And what am I going to do about, you just start, you know how it is. You think about how am I going to build it out so I can use it so my life doesn't suck for a 12-hour day, right? And that's the shit that I come back to. And again, I only talk about it all the time because that's what I did for years. For years, I jumped from small mirrorless body to this next small mirrorless body. And that is why I turn around and I tell all of you and whoever else wants to listen to this bullshit, I tell them, look, man, this is a bad idea. Only because my life was a living hell for years. Because I was just in the poison, right? You're in the poison, you know? You get the Blackmagic Pocket cinema cameras, you get the GH5s, you get the FX3s, you get the A7S III. It's all poison, dude. And you're like, wait, this shit sucks. This isn't meant to be used how I'm trying to use it. So why the fuck would I want to put money on it? Why would I suggest and advise other people put money on it when I know just looking at it, I'm like, dude, that camera looks like it's going to be hell. Like all I have is PTSD from looking at these cameras that look like this, right? That's where like my total like brush off comes from against all of these mirrorless cameras. That's why, I don't get hyped about it. And that's why I say it's like, it's a starter pack with a grenade attached to it. You know what I'm saying? Because you're just going to want to replace it immediately. But again, look, what the fuck do I know? Look, maybe you're just like shooting weddings and you just need one little camera in your hand. Yeah, that's cool too. Plenty of people do that, right? But again, it's a different thing. You know what I mean? It's a different thing. But I guess that's why they make different tools for different people. But also, it says fucking cinema camera on it, right? So it's like, oh, that's weird. You know what I mean? Like, look, I could run around in circles about this all night long. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to deter any of you, but you ask me my opinion, I'm going to give it to you. And you guys know I don't hold back my opinions. I'm not going to hold back my opinions on my own channel too. You know what I mean? So, it's just me like getting a little hyped about it. I get excited, but I don't care. I'm not trying to offend you guys. I'm just being real with you. You know what I mean? Nikon is going to get Justin. I hope they would. I wish they would. Yo, the low light ZR test footage from Nikon JP is terrible. Oh, really? Derek Morrison says the low light ZR test footage from Nikon is terrible. Yo, speaking of the footage, I did find some footage of that Fujifilm Eterna 55. I don't want to forget about this, what the video is supposed to be about. Good grief. Where is it at now? I had found it. Oh, yeah. So it's this guy right here, Jimmy Lindsay. He's actually in the ASC. He's more of like a TV DP. Like, he shot 3 episodes of Veep. He shot some episodes of Welcome to Chippendale. So he does all these like TV shows, but he's in there. He's legit. I mean, fuck, these are real jobs. He's very legit. So this was the footage he shot with the GFX Eterna 55. If you can see this, what's wild about this camera too, is that it's like, because of the format, everything is like super bokeh out, I mean, that is one of the advantages. It makes every frame like super epic, in terms of its size and how shallow it is. It's like, so you understand the craze about the size of the sensor, right? Obviously. But again, if you can get that out of the XE, the Raptor, 100%, bro, I would go the Raptor route, because at least you can get real raw. By the way, this location is insane though. This location is nuts. Like, I feel like this is definitely one they got here on Pure Space, like a Malibu place, or probably not Malibu. I feel like this would be down like Marina Del Rey area. This is probably like a Pure Space Marina Del Rey thing, if it's in LA, or it's like somewhere in fucking Utah and they made it look like fucking Marina Del Rey. It just reminds me of like a home that would be on Marina Del Rey. Yeah, I mean, the footage is great, right? I don't know if I'm in love with the colors, but again, I have a hue deficiency, so what the fuck do I know when it comes to color? The color looked a little nuts to my eyeballs, though, but again, like that was, look, Company 3 color graded this, so I need to watch my mouth, you know what I'm saying? You know, but I also think there's a testament to that, like, production design, look at the location, Company 3 color graded this, okay? Let's not get too crazy with ourselves, right? You gotta. And also, like, look at the size of the crew here, okay? He's got a fucking UPM, for crying out loud. Like, you know what I mean? He's got a real crew. He's got an actual DIT on set, okay? For those of you, you know, I know a lot of you think DIT means meter wrangler. That's not what they actually are. A real DIT is like an on-set color gradist, right? So they got a fucking crew, man. You know what I'm saying? With Company 3, okay? So, like, you just don't forget what you're looking at here, okay? You know, like, because I know people, this is why they give it to him, right? Because he's thrilled to have been one of the first to shoot with the amazing new Fujifilm GFX Eterna 55, you know? Yeah, dude, of course they gave it to you. You know, look at these people behind you, you know? So, you know, I'm just saying, we got to be very mindful about everything. You know, like if we take the GFX Eterna and we go sit in a white walled room, or I put it here in my boring office, it's not going to look much different from this fucking A7C II. Let's just be real, dude. You know, like production design is a huge part of it, on top of the color grading, right? So we can't forget that either, right? You can't ever forget about what you're looking at, you know? Also that weird spray of the lemon, I'm pretty sure they put that in post. I don't know if they needed that, unless it actually did that. If it really did that, it looks nuts. I'm gonna let it replay and then, but just watch, like when she bites into this lemon twist, it like sprays out. It looks fake almost though. It's like, if it is fake, I'm like, why did they put that in there? But if it isn't fake, if it is real, it looks a little weird to me. But if it is real, it's also like, why did they leave that in there? That was just weird. And I feel like maybe they left it in because, that maybe it is real and that actually happened. Let's hope so. Let's pray so. If this is something that they actually put in post, that's heinous, dude. That's so heinous. Just watch what it does. Just watch what it does. That's a great shot, by the way. That outdoor shot is the best shot of the whole piece. I honestly think that. I'm gonna see if I can look at that shot. It's so good, dude. That outside wide shot of her, that is the best shot of the whole commercial, dude. That is the best shot. When is she gonna do the spritz thing again? Here, let me make it bigger. When is she gonna do the spritz thing again? Was it really towards the end? This is Instagram, so I don't think it'll let me rewind it. Oh, there's the specs. So this was 65 spherical. Oh, it's a bunch of, I think he used a bunch of different lenses on this. That's a really cool way to do a test too. Or did he stay with the same lens? I haven't been paying attention to this down here. Has this been, oh, it is. Yeah, so this is rad. Hey, that's a pretty inspiring way to do a lens, or to do a camera test, you know? Like you shoot the same project, but with a bunch of different lenses. That's pretty rad. When I was talking, I probably missed the lemon spritz, huh? No, there it is right there. Maybe that was real. Man, I wish you could rewind on Instagram. There's no, that's the downside. There's no like play bar down here. But maybe I can try to pause on my favorite frame. I mean, the inside is cool, but honestly, it's production design. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like a lot of it is look at the location. This is nuts. And also, like, who the fuck, like, why is this fucking elk head? Like, this is clearly a Pure Space, you know what I mean? Like, look at this, dude. Like, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, like, in LA, there's so many of these places in LA where, like, it can be, like, any era, any place you want it to be, and, you know, they're for rent for, like, $100 an hour or something. Like, this is, like, feels like there's nobody that actually lives like this. Like, this is crazy. Like, why the fuck is this crazy elk head back here, or whatever animal this is? It's just so funny, man. Like, this huge monkey statue, this big-ass lion statue. It's just hilarious, dude. But this is a cool trick what they did with these wood blinds. That's a pretty good trick, pulling those halfway down like that. I mean, it seems to be okay dynamic range, I guess. I mean, I don't know. It looks a little white out there, but I'm not going to talk shit about Company 3. I'm not going to talk shit about Company 3 because look at this. Look at the closer window. Look how much better it's holding this closer window. But meanwhile, these windows out here are looking gnarly. Oh my God, dude. It's like an iceberg back there. What happened, dude? I don't know about that, guys. I don't know about that. That looks a little nuts to me back there. In turn, I'm talking about the dynamic range. Okay. I'm just waiting for it to start over because I'm going to tell you why the outdoor shot is the best shot of this whole piece. Because the inside doesn't excite me. It doesn't matter. Like, I feel like any of us could go to that location and do something equally of equal value, right? Because a lot of it is location. No joke. You know what I mean? Like, so much of the shots is location. But also, there seems to be a weird green hue to the whole. Again, that could be my eyes. If I'm seeing green, maybe that means it's actually red. But hold up. Wait for this to... Right here. This is the best shot of the whole piece, bro. I don't care who you are, dude. This is the best shot of the whole piece. Also, look at this lens. A Statera 1.5 times anamorphic, 75 millimeter anamorphic, T2.2, 6000 Kelvin, ISO 800, 4x3 open gate. And look at this, though. It gets gnarly around the edges here, but maybe they did that in post. You know, like, that's a new thing they're doing, like in a vignette. They're blurring the vignette. Or have they always been doing that? Maybe they've always been doing that, but this is a lot. Is there a fly in here, dude? He just got on my eye, dude. There's a fly in here. I'm dying, dude. I'm dying. But look, this is pretty decent, dude. I love this shot for so many reasons. They got this little bit of foreground with this little handrail here. That's like the little cherry on top. You get a little foreground that makes sense. You know, you're like, oh yeah, put that in there. You know what would have been next level? Okay, if you had this, if they would have put a little like one of those floaty things, but those are so hard to get to stay. You know, that's one of the reasons. You know what? We did a shoot once. Well, you know what I'm talking about? Floaty things, like the things that float in the pool. Because I'm just saying that would be another layer of foreground, but it's really hard to get it stuck in one spot, obviously. But one time we did it where we tied a rope to it. And 2 ropes, but yeah, it would have to be. It's almost impossible to do that with this shot because you would only be able to pull the ropes from this side, and then you'd probably still see it going out the back side because you need it. Like, you know, you basically got to tie it down. Or another way is you tie little weights. You take a sandbag. If it's not too heavy, you could take like a little 10-pounder sandbag. Probably won't even need, you don't even need to be that heavy for a floaty, right? It could be like a little 5-pounder, right? You tie that to the rope and drop it in the pool, and then your little floaty ain't gonna go far. And then you got another layer of fucking foreground, dude. But that would have brought this shot next level. But the fact that we got the little handlebars in here, the little handrail, that's a nice little, nice bit. But I love that, and why this is better again, because they're outdoors. It's way harder to make this look good than any of that shit inside. I don't care who you are. You know what I mean? So like being able to pull off these big day exteriors like this, money, you know what I mean? And this is a nice looking shot here, bro. Beautiful shot. Best shot of the whole fucking commercial. I don't care who you are, bro. Yeah, grip is nice, but not wireless, needs a cable. Are you talking about that Nikon thing? Yeah, I know. Oh, wait, what was he saying again? The low-light ZR test footage. Oh, I haven't seen it yet. The low-light ZR test footage. Oh, did they give you some? They didn't give us any to test, did they? Did they give us low-light footage to download? I feel like they never do. Blackmagic did, though. Didn't they? Where did the link go to get the footage? There used to be a link on here to get the footage. And now I don't see it anymore. Am I, like, zooming past it? It's around here somewhere. It's right here. Oh yeah, right here. You can download sample files. And what's cool too, with the newest Resolve, you don't need the red thing. In the newest Resolve, they have it. Yeah, there's no low light footage. That's a bummer. Nikon's not very good at shooting their promos. They have this stupid image processing to soften skin tones. I hope it can be turned off. They all have that. Now. B&H is funny for putting the Blackmagic Ursa 12K LF under full frame over the new large format category. Yeah, B&H is funny in general, bro. Don't even get me started on B&H. Z8 footage looks quite good, but the ZR has a different sensor. It feels a little soft to me, man. That footage I had downloaded, it looks a little soft to me. Blackmagic is pushing so hard. The BM 12K sensor looks so damn good, but that customer service is shite. Yeah, it's been that way for years too, dude. I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel about the Blackmagic cameras. I genuinely was interested in the RGBW thing, and nothing ever came out about it. Building on the original 12K, look, the Ursa Cine. Download camera footage. Introducing the world's most advanced digital film camera. Download camera footage. What the hell? Iceland? Wait. Oh, this is all the clips. Oh, wait, do they have low light footage? So I know this isn't the Nikon, but do they offer low light footage with this? Look at these ranch guys. We're just hanging out here on the ranch. Life is hard in Yellowstone. Fucking Republican bullshit. I'm just trying to find some nighttime footage here. Oh, an LED panel studio test. Is that Hurlbut on there? Looks like Hurlbut. Oh, here's one. The plate shooting beast. Oh, but it's an LED wall. Come on, man. I want real low light, dude. Oh, here we go. Flamenco night. Cinematographer Christian Sabolt. ASC. All right, let's check this out. This bokeh looks nuts. That's the, who does the triangle bokeh? I forget. I forget who does the triangle bokeh. So this is with the new sensor, right? This is the RGBW sensor. Oh, I know this location. This looks just like a house I shot at. Who does the triangle bokeh? I forget. Oh, it's only on the outers. I just used the Ursa Center 12K the other day, so this is him. Beautiful night setting. These all look like really green and yellow to me, though. I mean, you know, you would have to download this too, because the bummer part is it's like, we all know they're using noise reduction on this shit, dude. You already know that. I mean, everybody does. Everybody puts noise reduction on any video. You know, you just have to. You just have to. That's another thing too. Like, people complain about it. It's like, dude, everybody uses noise reduction. You honestly have to. It actually helps the compression. When you put your footage online, it's actually better to add noise reduction, and then, but don't forget, then you have to add grain on the back end. Like like for some reason, like it's been proven that it helps the compression to put noise reduction on your first node and put grain on your last node. I don't know. That's what I was taught. That's what I've always done. That's what you do. So it's like really hard to like judge low light unless you can download this shit. You know, I guess you can, right? They give you the option to download this. It's ready for motion picture production and all network TV projects. Good God, I hope so. You know what, though? You know, TV shows do use Blackmagic a lot. Blackmagic is used a lot on TV shows. I will say that. Okay, let's see. RGBW sensor 10.4. Wow. See, why aren't more people talking about this, though? This is crazy to me. RGBW for 10.4. Wow. Blackmagic Ursa Cine 12K LF. There's got to be circles of people talking about this that I'm just completely unaware of, or else they're just getting drowned out by the Pixis army or something. Does the Pixis also have does the Pixis 12K also have the RGBW sensor? I don't think it does, right? Like, it just has a normal sensor. Blackmagic is pushing so hard. Let's see. I got really backed up right there. The BM 12K sensor looks so damn good, but that custom, oh yeah. Even CineD hosts admit they will not anymore spend 15+ K for a camera. They also said 5K is a threshold. Yeah, I think that's like a legitimate thing, man. Customer loyalty is weak with BMD. Get the 12K today and then boom, price drop. You know, next year the Pixis 17K is coming. I can sense a disturbance in the force. 17K. Man, this is the problem too. Like, and I was going to say this with the Fuji. Like with the Fuji, man, this camera is literally just, this camera is a product of what happens when people want to push the larger sensor. You know, like the large format open gate bullshit is all they want to push. And then it's like, but dude, you couldn't even do it. Like, you couldn't even deliver it properly. 4K binning, like 8K is like, it isn't even the full sensor. Wait, what did he say? 8K mode is smaller than full frame APS-H. So the 8K mode is APS-H crop. There's no raw. OpenGate has been 4K. I mean, this is crazy shit to me. 10-bit. It's just like, ugh, dude. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's why, though. It's how they got themselves in that pickle is because they were so pumped to put out this thing they call advanced large format video capture, and yet it can't internally capture raw for some god-awful reason for 16 grand. Still couldn't figure it out. It's just like, dude, what? And I just feel like it's the hype. It's the hype of the larger sensors, right? It's the hype of the open gate. It's that, and that's what brings this shit about. You know what I mean? That's what happens. And that's how I feel like the Blackmagic thing with, like, every time they put a camera out, it's like the larger amount of Ks. It's insane. How many Ks, honestly, how many Ks do you guys honestly need? Honestly, how many Ks do you need? I don't think anyone needs more than 6K. You just don't. And the only argument I would say for that is because, okay, if you're going to do a lot of stuff in post and you have to deliver in true 4K, if you really have to deliver in true 4K, then obviously, okay, yeah, that's the only reason why I say anybody would need 6K in the first place. But me personally, I'm not doing that shit. I'm not delivering in true 4K because even true 4K isn't true 4K. You know what I'm saying? Like most things are capping out at Ultra HD, which isn't even true 4K. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like crazy to me to then for people to go, well, I need that 12K, man. You need that 12K? Like what, who are your clients? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand who is needing the 12K unless you are on some big CGI show or some show that just is like, holy shit. You know, it's like, okay, I guess then I would understand that argument. Like, okay, you need 12K. Even then though, I don't believe, unless it's like going to be played on, you know, some big theater or something, I can't imagine any network TV being like, yeah, you got to deliver this in 6K. It's like, wait, what? I don't know. Is that a thing? I can't imagine that. You know, most things are getting capped out at Ultra HD. Let's see. I respect your honest reviews. You can't get this real point of view elsewhere. Respect. Thank you, Saul. That's what's up, brother. The 12K RGBW Pixels just started shipping. Okay, so it is an RGBW Pixels. That's what I was saying. Like, it's just like, right here. I guess I just skimmed over that part. I guess a lot of people are skimming, but no, I guess not. I guess people are saying this is blowing up their For You page on YouTube. So I guess it is doing a little bit well. I am excited. I am honestly excited for the RGBW. Like, I think that is really rad. I think that is really cool technology. That's why I was kind of like, why aren't more people talking about this? But I guess it makes sense now that it's blowing up because now that they put it in the Pixis, now more people care about it. When it was in the Ursa body, no one gave two fucks about it. They probably saw that and they're like, okay. You know what I mean? They want to help out the Pixis guys because the Pixis was like a crazy cult camera. And again, all the influencers helped that. But that's fine. The fact now is RGBW sensor. Now maybe that is something that I'm definitely paying attention to because that is exciting. You know, to see that kind of technology, that to me is cool technology, right? I don't think it needs to be fucking 12K. But I do like the idea of an RGBW sensor chip. I do like that. Mainly just for its capabilities in color rendering, right? And all the amazing benefits that come with it. Yeah, the ZR is the equivalent of a bedroom producer for music. Damn, gung-ho in the house. Yo, Justin's always asking the real questions. Facts. That's what's up. Nikon needs to give it to bedroom music producers that are well-known. Once they contextualize it, then it will be so obvious what the camera is for. You talk about the Nikon ZR now. That's hilarious, dude. I'm really behind. So yeah, the ZR does not deserve to have cinema anywhere near the marketing. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know, startup cinema. They forgot a few key words. Yo, but what if you view these cameras as pocket cameras for discrete run and gun, rigless shooting? Seems killer for that. No, using cinema and marketing does feel very wrong though. Yeah, I mean, honestly, exactly what you're saying, Travis. That's literally why my video was called, wait, what did I say? It was the best new pocket camera or some bullshit, right? I said something like that. Like I made sure to call it a pocket camera. I don't know if the title was that, but I definitely called it that because that's literally what I said. Is the Nikon ZR the new best pocket cinema camera? You notice how I did that? I did that for a reason. I specifically called it the best pocket cinema camera for a reason. And I specifically said that multiple times in the video, referring to it as a pocket cinema camera for a reason, right? I should have maybe had my bad cop go in on that a little bit. That was a missed opportunity on my part. But that's really why, exactly what you're saying, Travis, because yeah, it is just that. Pocket cinema camera. And I guess in this stream, I went even a little more hard on them and called it a starter pack cinema camera, right? Either way, that's what I meant by pocket cinema camera. And yeah, you're not wrong. It is great for running. I do think it's wrong for run and gun, right? Because again, you're talking to someone that's been primarily doing run and gun for nearly 8 years now, maybe over 8 years. I don't know. But since I can't do math, but since 2017, that's all I've been doing is running and gunning. That's why I look so horrible. I wore the fuck out from running and gunning, right? And probably it's because the first 4 or 5 years of running and gunning, I was doing it with these stupid little camera bodies. You know what I mean? Like, it's just insanity. So I don't think, and I get it, like maybe everybody's definition of run and gun is different, right? But no. Not for me, right? Run and gun still means that the tool needs to be able to make my running and gunning super easy and as least stressful as possible. You know what I'm saying? And again, that's why when going from something like the Komodo, even as something as maybe advanced somewhat as the Komodo, over to the FX6, just mind blown every which way, just like just like in another universe, like you're now like on shrooms type 10, you know what I mean? Like you're just on another level now. You're just like, wow, my life just got so much better, like, oh my God, what happened? It was the tool, everything that the FX6 was providing, so many things that I didn't have to worry about. I don't even have to think about anymore. Right. And that's what I mean. Like, so when you say run and gun, and to me, again, that's a PTSD trigger word right there. Because I hear run and gun, I go, oh my God, dude, no, I cannot run and gun with this camera. This little tiny camera that offers me nothing for running and gunning. I'm sorry. Maybe the monitor. If the monitor is as good as they say it is, and I guess I use the word monitor, I should say screen. If that screen is as good as they say it is, then okay. Okay, I guess that's one less heinous thing to worry about, right? But still, it's like, boy, I don't know. Running and gunning with a little camera like that has no no internal ND. It is like audio. It's cool, 32-bit float, but then what do you got to do? You got to buy this little weird little. Again, it's not like it has XLR ports. Again, it's like you're gonna have because again, I think of working with crews, even on the tiniest of crews. The job we just wrapped on last week, right? Tiny crew. The entire camera and lighting department was 3 people, including me, right? The tiniest of crews. Guess what? I still had audio guy walking over to me. Hey man, let me plug in my time code, right? FX6 makes it super easy. Hey, there's even gen lock on the FX6. That's amazing. That comes in handy when shooting LED walls, which we've had to do a handful of times, right? Like you're just like, oh yeah, just plug in right there. And then he's gonna some shit's gonna hang off your camera, right? Like now imagine you have this camera or something equal to as this camera, right? A mirrorless body, right? Doesn't matter what it is, even if you have the FX3, right? Audio guy walks up, hey man, let me put this. Okay, it's fine. It's fine if you figure out a way to get time code. But imagine now something dangling off of this little baby camera. It's just like another thing where you're like, what is this? This is in my way now. Or the FX6, you don't even know it's back there. You know what I'm saying? It's just like things like that to think about. And I understand maybe, you don't always have to worry about something like that, but that is just a small example, of where it is literally something that could throw you off at the beginning of the day. For instance, you go back to Komodo days, someone comes over with a time code thing, and now you go, oh fuck, I gotta attach this extra thing or whatever, and it just throws you for a little loop. Or you got to help your AC find it, if you have an AC with you, and then you're like, well, I can't explain to him what it is because he doesn't know what it is. So now we got to dig around for it. You're wasting time, right? You're wasting valuable time. And why? It's all because of the tool. You chose to show up on set with the wrong tool, and now you're losing valuable time that you will never get back, right? And in my realm, specifically, I'm talking about short films, and that's primarily what I did with the Red Komodo. Is I shot short films that I was hired to shoot, right? Because I live in Los Angeles. Everybody, you throw a rock, you're gonna find 10 guys or women that want to make their next short film, right? It's everywhere here, right? So I shoot a lot of short films, but it's also what I prefer. I love it. I love it. But I'm just saying, the tool, you got to think about that shit, right? You got to think about that shit. And even if you don't do narrative stuff, if you're working with an audio guy in 2025, it seems like all of them have the fucking timecode thing, right? You know what I mean? It's just things to think about. And it's fine if you figure out a way to do it, which is great if they offer it. I don't know that much about this camera. It's great if it does. I'm just thinking about the shit that's going to be hanging off of your camera, right? And when the camera is already so tiny to begin with, you know what I mean? And this, you only think about these things, obviously, when you've been hit with it time after time after time, which I clearly have, you know what I mean? So that's the shit. So run and gun, ooh, that's a little trigger word for me. But yeah, discreet, yeah, 100% pocket camera, especially you put the little pancake lens on there. But again, like how, like in my, again, I know this is probably not what everybody relates to, but in my experience of, having to sneak shots, right? And I've had to do it with the Sigma FP. I've done it with the FX6 even, but probably not really. More like with the A7S3, FX30, that was the one. FX30 had to cheat shots where, you're literally just walking in with the camera. And we've done that. But the difference is like, in my experience, you put a pretty long lens on it. You know what I mean? Because you're stealing the shot, right? Not always, when we did Spent with the Records and we went into the gas station with Tristan, it was like the 50 mils. So I was pretty damn close to him. It wasn't like I was across the other side of the gas station. But it does help if you're able to use a longer. But again, if the screen is as good as they say it is, then I guess it wouldn't be a problem having to use a longer lens with it. I'm just saying, yeah, Yes and no. It is good for discrete pocket camera, but run and gun, I don't know about that. But he did say rigless. But again, like how rigless are you going to get? You know what I mean? Because again, only with 3 people, you're still going to have time code shit to worry about. You're going to have to rig it. You're going to have to rig it somehow. Because, you know, doing a whole day with just this is no, you know what I mean? Like you're only operating like that for when you have to. You're only, I call this running naked, right? You're just running the camera naked for as long as you have to, right? But as soon as you can rig it back out, because also another thing to think about is, although this does have active stabilization, right? So, but again, I don't know if I always want to lean in that. And plus 2, is it in, I don't know what modes it is in. Sometimes it, you know, I don't know all the details about the camera. So maybe the active stabilization will help you. But the reason why I like to rig out the cameras when they're this tiny is to add some weight to it, you know, to make it a little bit more, not so jittery. You know what I mean? That's why I say, how long is it going to stay naked like that? You know, are you going to shoot your whole project like that? Nah, doubtful. Yo, preach, these mirrorless camera bodies are a hassle to deal with. Notice though, all that footage is 90% locked off. Bet you can't pan with it. Oh, you talking about the Fuji thing? Well, yeah, you already know that. You already know that because everyone talks about the rolling shutter of this thing. Yeah, but do you guys see what I'm talking about? Do you notice how like the top of the frame is so blurry? But why isn't the bottom of the frame blurry? Like it doesn't make sense. That's why I feel like they added this in post. But this is a company 3 thing. I can't imagine that they're hopping on that bandwagon too. And then you're like, is that really how this lens is? Like, why is the top all smudgy, but the bottom isn't? I don't understand. Like, that is so strange to me. Because it's clearly a lens issue or something weird they did in post. I can't quite put my finger on it. But either way, I still love the frame. It's a beautiful frame. But yeah, 100%. It has to be locked off. This is with the GFX 55 Eterna if you just tuning in here. I just want an updated FX3 with internal RAW at a reasonable price. Yeah. As a solo shooter, I don't require bulky HDMI extra setup. That's why the ZR is appealing for many shooters. I think that is the thing to come. Honestly, I think they'll lean that way. Maybe not. I don't know. You never know with Sony. They're a juggernaut too. You know, it's like they don't care. C50 versus R5 II for B cam for C300 Mark III. Okay, hold up. That's a pretty good one. C50. You can turn that air on. I forgot to turn that off. We can turn that air on. I for some reason, like I got confused. Like I had always thought that I turned the air off for the lives, but I don't think I do. You guys have to tell me. Like if the noise gets gnarly, you'll have to let me know. But I don't think it will because OBS noise cancellation or whatever. Let me just jump to the bottom. Okay, am I missing something? The ZR is just software update for Nikon. Yeah, someone else said that too. I you know, like software update. I don't know about that. Like it's implementing Red Raw. You know what I mean? Like I think that's a little bit more than a software update. If that's what you're saying, like. You know, because you know, I think Phil Holland even spoke about this because he was in the live stream when we talked about the ZR, the overheating live stream video that I did, and he was talking about it is kind of both like software and hardware things with it. So yeah, I don't think that it's fair to say that it's a software update. You know, I think there's things going on under the table that, you know, people like me obviously we don't know about. You know what I'm saying? Let's see what he's saying though. He said, man, I'm so far behind, bro. That's okay. So wait, that's the LA Sherpa's crash pad. Yeah, dude, that's funny. Is that true? That's funny. C50 versus R5 II. Hold on, we got to get into this. Yeah, R5 II. So wait, isn't the R5 II a mirrorless body, bro? I think I already answered that for you, dude. I know I'm behind in the chat, but I'm pretty sure that yeah, no, dude. No, that's not even a question, bro. Why would you even waste your time with this thing? No, dude, Canon C50 all the way, dude, especially for a B cam. Now, look though, if you want to like do photos, like you're like, wow, it's got 45 megapixels. I'm going to do photos with this. Wow. Then I guess if you're really going to use it as a hybrid camera, but good God, it just looks like a beast. Like here's the funny thing. For photo cameras, I like them to be nice and compact, minimalist, small as possible, right? Photo cameras make sense for me to be small. You know, this camera's insane, right? These hybrid cameras are getting out of control. You don't need a hybrid camera. If you need it, we talked about this before too. There's no such thing as a perfect hybrid camera. Hybrid cameras suck, dude. If you need a real video camera, you get a real, or cinema camera, you get a real cinema camera, right? If you need a real camera to take photos with, then you get the tool that does that, right? You know, like, stop. I wish, you know, I kind of got to give, you know, props to Leica for being like the ones to be like, we're not putting video in our cameras. It's kind of a dope thing to do, because it's like, yeah, it's pointless. You know what I mean? Like, anytime they start combining this shit, it gets out of control. It just like sucks. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't need all this bullshit in a camera that takes photos. You just don't. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I don't want to invest this for anything. B cam, hybrid camera, none of it. No, you don't want this shit, dude. I would get the C50 every day of the week, bro. Every day of the week. And then if you need something to take photos with, just buy any shitty Canon camera. Like, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like, you don't need like the state-of-the-art camera to shoot photos with, unless like you just want super fast autofocus. Then I guess, yeah, maybe you need something like the A9 Mark III or whatever the fuck is out. But that's Sony shit, I know. But what is Canon's equivalent of the A9, right? Like, what is Canon's equivalent of the A9? That's what you should get. And maybe you would say, well, that's the R5. And I don't think I agree with that, because the A9 is not really good for video, right? I mean, I think we all know that, right? Low light footage for ZR is on Nikon Japan website. The Nikon Japan website. Yo, Haris Singh Blah says he's loving this. Have you seen the new PTA film? Hell yeah, we saw it. We saw it yesterday. Dude, don't even get me started, bro. Best movie. I mean, honestly, I think it's the best movie I've seen in like, maybe like 5 years or something, dude. So he's talking about One Battle After Another. First of all, I don't know if how long you guys have been on my channel, but P.T. Anderson is my favorite director, hands down. He's always been my favorite. P.T. Anderson been my favorite director and I know some people from my videos might think like, oh, I thought David Fincher was your favorite director, because I do talk about David Fincher a lot, but hell no, dude. Like P.T. Anderson has always, and it's mainly because of There Will Be Blood. I love There Will Be Blood so much. It's probably like, might be my most favorite movie of all time, There Will Be Blood. Look how much fucking movie, opening weekend, 22 million, 22.4. But the budget was 130 million. Holy shit, dude. They spent 130 million dollars on that movie. Holy shit. That's what's crazy to me. I guess they did like a lot of crazy like crashes and stuff.
Well, and big scenes with lots of people.
Big scenes with lots of people. That's true too. Big scenes with no spoilers here. But yeah, lots of people, right? Lots of background, real people, real like crazy like stunts and stuff. Not crazy, but like actual stuff going on. I'm sure you guys have seen the trailer, right? It's pretty insane. I forgot about the fireworks shit. Yeah, I guess I was surprised at first by the budget, because when I see like, you guys will know what I'm talking about. I think Patrick Tomato, Tommaso, I don't know his fucking, you know what I'm talking about. He did a video on this. You probably saw the video I did on this. It was, you know, it's a decent take. But he just mentions how like, you know, like he feels like the cinematography is illegal because it's like so, you know, not polished and Hollywood looking. But that was like my first thought of like, how the fuck can the budget be 130 million? Because it looks kind of, you know, very raw, you know. But honestly though, at the same time, like I think they tried to make it look this way. I don't think that like this is like, I got to be very careful with what I'm saying here, because I love all the people attached to this movie. So I don't want to like talk shit about it, but I do feel like there is this new trend of making it look like you're not trying, but you really are, right? That's the new trend. And you all know what I'm talking about, right? There is this trend of being like, how can we make it look like we didn't even try? You know, and this movie pulls it off very, very well, but also at the same time, you know, look who's fucking attached to it. Look who's creating it. Look at the budget. You know, it's like, look at the amount of the crew and everything. It's like, okay, yeah, they're clearly like, yeah, they're clearly trying, right? They have the team, you know what I'm saying? And kudos for that. I think it's rad when you can pull it off. It's very rad. And look at the DP he got on this. He mainly has been a gaffer. His top other credits, gaffer on Smoking Aces, gaffer on The Island. What was that other one? Gaffer on Iron Man. And then he shot One Battle After Another. You know what? I thought at first, because it wasn't a known name, I thought P.T. Anderson was again his own DP, because he's done that twice now. He was his own DP on Phantom Thread, and he put a different name in the credits. And then for Licorice Pizza, He put a fake name in. He basically put a stage name in the credits of the DP of Phantom Thread, and then for Licorice Pizza, he finally gave himself the credit. I believe that's how that went. Wasn't it Licorice Pizza he shot as well, or at least was the DP? Yeah. See. Oh, okay. This is how it happened. Michael Bowman was like his other probably like help. Michael Bowman was like there side by side with him, being his DP on Licorice Pizza. So that's how it came to be. And then for one battle after another, he slid in the hot seat. I'm talking about Michael Bowman. That's pretty cool. But yeah, amazing movie, hands down. It was just so badass, dude. And I recommend everybody go watch it. And my first thought about it when I walked out of the theater, talking about one battle after another, my first thought about it was, bro, it did everything that Eddington couldn't. You know what I mean? Like, I felt like Eddington was like trying so hard, and where this movie is just like, it's just like, damn, like this. And I don't want to, without like giving anything away, like it's not. And here's the thing, like, don't get it twisted. It's not anything about what Eddington is about, right? It's not. It's just not. It's not about what that movie's about at all. But when you watch it, I think my comment will make sense. Where you're like, oh yeah, I think I know what fuckhead was talking about. You're like, it's just a badass movie, man. And there's so many amazing sequences in it, crazy things that I think will be in film schools, moving forward. Certainly there's a sequence at the end. I don't want to give anything away, but there is a crazy sequence at the end where I feel like it entered the books in terms of like film school topics and things. Like it's amazing, dude. It's just a badass movie. And I honestly too, coming from the acting side of things, again, I have an MFA in theater and shit. Honestly, I think it's Leo DiCaprio's best thing he's ever done. Honestly, I do. Like, I like most of the time I don't really care for Leo. He was getting pretty good for the Hollywood movie, the Tarantino Hollywood movie. What was that called? The one with Brad Pitt, like the Manson thing. He was getting good then, but this movie is just like a whole nother level of performance from him. I wouldn't be surprised if Leo takes the Oscar for this. I also wouldn't be surprised if this little girl gets nominated. I mean, the movie is insane, bro. And I think P.T. Anderson, I think he's definitely going to get nominated for this one. Like, this movie is insanely good, dude. Like, it's insanely good. And I honestly haven't thought that about a movie since Nope. I feel like when Nope came out, I was like, damn, that's a fucking good movie. But this to me feels a little bit more like Get Out. Remember when you saw Get Out? I'm imagining you guys appreciate that movie. I don't know about you guys, but when I saw Get Out, I remember being like, wow, now that is a movie. You're like, damn, dude, that's how I feel about this. You're like, wow. You just feel like it's just like on another level almost. You're almost like, how do they think of this shit? And it's just, I could talk about this movie all night, but I don't want to give anything away, so we'll stop talking about it. But yes, we definitely saw it, and everyone should go see it. Zeiss B Speeds do the triangle bokeh, okay, but he didn't use. Or wait, what were we watching? That? Oh, it was the Black Magic thing. It was the Black Magic thing that had that. Triangle bokeh. You mean that shit you can do by cutting a triangle out of a piece of paper and then putting the paper in front of the lens? No, dude. There's a specific. Yeah, he's talking about the Zeiss B Speeds. There is a lens that does it. It's not the whole thing, bro. It's just what it's almost like what happened with the it's almost what happened with the Ninja Star bokeh when you get some of the contacts lenses. Like if you bought the German contacts lenses, they would have the Ninja Star, but if you bought the Japan ones, they wouldn't have the Ninja Star. And that is kind of like the B Speeds thing where they have that weird triangle shit. That's not a very good demonstration of it though right there. I thought that was like Mariah Carey's little sister at first. Yo, have you ever tried the Fuji X-T mirrorless cams? No, never have, Tim. I've never tried that shit, dude. Here's the thing though. I love the Fujifilm color science. I really do. Like when I look at anything that the XH2S has done, like it doesn't matter who shot it. I'm just like, wow, dude. The XH2S is a really nice camera. It really is. It's so good where I almost got it. That was the camera that almost took me out of the Sony ecosystem. And it's because my buddy here in LA, shout out to John Mark, he had the XH2S. And I was like, damn, you got that camera? And then I saw he was selling it. Well, I had the FX, this is back when I still had the FX30. And we almost did a big swap. Like I was going to trade in the FX30 with a couple lenses. He's going to give me his Fuji with a couple lenses. It was going to be like a full on swap. That's how much I was just like enamored by the XH2S. I didn't end up doing it because I think I saw the future a little bit, where I knew that I was going to eventually get the FX6, because that had been like in my scope for a long time, you know. And I think that is the main reason why I backed out of that little deal. And just knowing, like, when I was looking at what Fuji offered, I wasn't really like, you know what I'm saying? So but yeah, I have always been a big fan of the Fuji Color Science, specifically that XH2S sensor. I thought it was a really nice one. Pix's 12K is RGBW, same sensor as the Ursa, but readout speed is halved due to thermal processing. Okay. Let's just go back to shooting on film. Yeah, dude, I try to do that every day. The C50 looks like an amazing tool. I haven't made the purchase yet, but it makes sense in my package with 2 C500 cams. Well, no kidding, bro. Oddly enough, I get asked for Sony cams more often than not and have to rent. See what I'm saying? And that's what was happening here. That was no joke. When I put out my first video, my review of the FX6, I think the thumbnail was something like most worked camera in the past years, because that was true. Every job I was on, and not even shooting, even if I was the gaffer, they were always shooting Sonys, bro. They were always shooting Sonys. And I was like, dude, this is the camera to get, isn't it? I remember talking to, there's a DP that I was gaffing for, and I'm like, this is the one to get because everybody has this camera. And he was like, yeah, dude. Yeah, you just need to get it. I was like, Jesus, dude, this is the camera. It works so much, dude. Everybody wants, yeah, the only camera that consistently gets work for the past 2 years. That was no joke, because that's what we were doing. We were having to rent it. We were being asked to, you know, come with Sony. We were being asked to submit with Sony. Like, it was just crazy. And it still is kind of like that. And there is a video that you can find online with the guy I was trying to remember his name earlier, with fucking Ben Affleck. It's basically like a commercial that Ben Affleck did for the new Burano, wasn't it? It was like basically like a Burano thing, and he went out with this guy right here. Oh no, Salvatore Totino. I was thinking of somebody else. But yeah, so you can go watch this video when we're done here, or tomorrow, whenever. Go check it out. But Ben Affleck goes around with this dude, and they're like shooting the Burano. But Ben Affleck says in that video a really interesting thing. He says, yeah, all the I guess what people were telling him at the rental houses, that the Sonys are flying off the shelves. Like every rental house that I guess Ben Affleck deals with, the Sonys are like the hot ticket item. All throughout LA, and it's just like I've found that a really interesting thing to know, like at the small level all the way up to the big level, everybody wants Sony, right? So now keep that in mind, right? And then we go to the movie theater, and there's a fucking ad that comes on, and fucking Sony, they do this thing where they're like, yeah, they're like, it was shot on Sony, and like all this stuff. It's like multiple ingredients, right? And then at the end they're like, and then you watch it on a Sony, and you're like, you motherfucker. But you know, it's pretty smart marketing, you know. It's like you know, they are kind of, they've taken over, you know, there's no doubt about it. They've definitely taken over. 12K RGBW is about the same as 8K with a Bayer sensor. So you can think as the Blackmagic cameras as 8K cameras. 12K is because you gain a white pixel and lose the extra green pixel of a Bayer sensor. Dude, he's talking crazy shit in here, bro. Thank you for dropping that knowledge though, Travis. Yo, look at that O'Connor tripod that costs like 5 times the Blackmagic. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I one day I might, you know my favorite quote about the tripod is, we got to do it now that you mentioned tripods. Have you ever seen the quote? Oh, Ben Rodriguez. What am I doing? Have I lost my mind? Robert Rodriguez. Why did I just put Ben Rodriguez? That's hilarious. Maybe because I was looking at a picture of Ben Affleck, so I wrote Ben, but then I was thinking of Robert Rodriguez. So he has a quote about tripods. Let me see if I can find it. It's one of the best quotes of all time. Tripod quote. Let me see if I can find it. It's going to be a YouTube video, though. Ah, man. I wish we could just freely watch YouTube videos without people fucking, you know, being weird about it. Oh, man. Anyways, he's on set, and he's talking about the tripod, and he goes, look at this tripod, it's so great, I wonder how expensive it is. You know, I'm paraphrasing. Then he goes, but you know what's gonna happen, you're gonna put your camera on there and it's just gonna sit there. And I love that. I just love that and you know, if you watch any of, even today, Robert Rodriguez, he was filming something and he was in a wheelchair. He goes, yeah, this is how you do it, and he was using the wheelchair as the dolly. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I love the guy, man. It's like, dude, he's so badass, dude. But yeah, I always think about his quote about the tripod of the camera just sitting there, you're not going to do anything with it. I always think about that anytime anybody talks about tripods. With a buyer sensor, you have RGB. So with RGBW, you actually lose out a bit of color information, so you can make up with just more pixels, LOL. And then you get the benefits of more DR. Oh, so you don't get more colors. All right, so I guess I was ill-informed. Wow, dude, that sucks. So the only benefit is more dynamic range and more resolution. That's a boo that then. Well, I guess dynamic range is cool, but I thought it was to get more color information. I thought I could have swore we read that on a live stream once. Did we not read that somewhere? I'm confused about the Nikon ZR. Is it Red's color science off the sensor, or is it just a Nikon sensor? It's a Nikon sensor, right? So why would this work well with Reds other than the codec? Okay, I understand what you're saying now. And yeah, I agree with you, dude. I agree with you 100%. And it's also weird too, because it's not even real red code raw. It's Nikon, what did they call it? It's called something NE. Nikon I was calling it Nikon enhanced. I don't think that's what it's actually called. It's called something like NE. But the E stands for something else, or I don't know what the fuck it stands for. But yeah, either way, it's not like, yeah, it's not real red code raw. Yeah, and I mean, that's a whole nother argument for the camera. 100%, dude, 100%. I was just saying, you know, it makes more sense for that to be a B cam next to these red cameras versus like a Sony or something weird, you know. But you are correct about that. I have no idea why anyone gives a fuck about megapixels outside of editing or printing. Our eyes and our displays hard cap what cameras can do, even if they had a bazillion pixels. Yeah, I'm with you, bro. Auto teleology. I'm with you, dude. That's how I feel too. Nikon ZR has the Z6 Mark III, I think, in terms of sensor. Yo, I shoot in 6K, but don't need more. It's so I can crop and zoom as needed in post. 100%. Yeah, and then you're delivering an actual 4K. Film festivals are only requiring 4K or 2K and DCP deliverables. I see most festivals only asking for that. Yeah, it's always been that way. Since like we did You Have Arrived. That was like 2016, bro. Asking for 2K as its standard for DCP and theater. Yeah, so they're still doing that. And that was in 2016 when I was making DCPs for our short films. Running and gunning. 4K to 6K is really enough. I only shot a few times 8K. From 8K onwards, it's a file size and storage problem. Dude, even 6K is a storage problem. Even 6K out of the Komodo is so huge files. Camera side and then storage and backup on drives. Does the Nikon ZR motivate Blackmagic to reimagine the Pocket OG, or are they past that phase? Good question, Tim. I hope it does. Now that's where we should be going. If they really want to jump on this pocket camera train, yeah, dude, bring back the OG Pocket. Man, I still have longings for that camera, dude. The original Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera. The original. Yeah, dude, look at this thing. Look at how, dude, the prices are still way high on this thing. Every time I see it, I'm like blown away. Like, oh my God, like I get blown off the chair a little bit. You're like, look at the price of this thing. Dude, I sold mine for $500, full kit. I got ripped off, dude. You know what I mean? Like, I can't believe, but you know what it is? Because every few years, a YouTuber or a couple YouTubers will make a video about this goddamn camera and poof, it'll jump back up in price, bro. It always happens, dude. But this camera was nuts. I don't think it's worth $769 though. I don't even think it's worth $400. I don't even know if I would be hesitant to give $400 for this camera. Just because it's like 1080p, 30 frames per second, battery life is zilch. You know, it's just like but it had that little special sauce. You know what I mean? Now, if you just want the sensor, if you just want the sensor, I think a camera that is worth it, but it's insanely hard to find, the Digital Bolex. The Digital Bolex was like an experimental camera. I actually worked on a movie. I was in a movie that they shot the movie that I was in. They shot it on a Digital Bolex. So I have had like firsthand experience with this thing as being the lead character in a movie that the movie was shot on using one of these things, right? Basically it's the same sensor. I don't know if it's the same sensor, but it is the same size. It's the same. What's the name of it? The Fairlight Child. It's that sensor, right? So, and I can show you some images of it because it's still on. You know, it's still on my old acting website. I keep that up, boy. It's this one right here. It's the spring poster. This is the digital Bullets. It looks wild, dude. Now that's a poster and everything. So, but I think there's a trailer for it in here. Yeah. I wonder if I'll have issues with I wonder if I would have issues with this. We'll take a man. It just sucks because sometimes YouTube will flag it before they even let the person decide or whatever. You guys should go check that. It's justinphillip.net/acting. I just don't want YouTube to like freeze because I've done that before, dude. They just freeze the video before even asking the person. Specifically with the lives. They get weird with the lives, man. Okay, but anyways, yeah, this is the camera that I would want to come back more than the OG Pocket. But yeah, essentially it's the same sensor. I think something similar. I was just banned from TikTok in the middle of setting up my account. wait, just now? Saving Cinema? Who would ban the Saving Cinema TikTok account? ZR has Atomos Blue Sync Bluetooth timecode. That I have yet to even run into anyone who has used it. Dude, that's a mouthful to say. Has Atomos Blue Sync Bluetooth. I feel like most the guys have their own shit. Like they all have their own shit they like to use. You know what I mean? So I don't know if they're all going to have that. The ZR can timecode through Bluetooth, or you have to do audio timecode and convert it to meta time. See, I don't know. That's great. Maybe you won't have something dangling off your computer or your camera then. So, hey, what the hell do I know? I guess that's the way to go. Hold up. Agree with Justin on Sony knowing how to build production cameras. Even the Sony FDR X3000 is more production camera built wise, internal options wise, that majority of the higher tier mirrorless. Yeah. They've always been the goat at creating video cameras. That's why I say I feel like the FX6 really isn't just a video camera, you know, but they've always been good at that shit. Atomos is a joke of a company, says Lonely Wrist. They have the worst support. I don't know how any working professionals can use their products. I haven't used Atomos in years either. Not years. Yeah. Yeah, I even though I've been a long time Sony shooter, I've never used an Atomos monitor with the Sony cameras. I have no desire to do external RAW. No desire whatsoever. I just don't. And now with the FX6 having that ability, well, I say now, it's had it for years. The FX6 has the raw metadata in Resolve. It's like, I don't care, dude. I don't even care about exporting RAW. Plus, I always worry about the cable, getting jerked out. Okay, am I missing something? Okay, oh yeah, we got... did you type that twice? You can change the extension of the NRAW file to R3D and work in the new DaVinci. Oh yeah, I didn't even have to do that though. You don't even have to do that. I didn't do that. And it still worked. You just have to have the newest DaVinci. Well, I have the paid DaVinci, so maybe that's why. M-Pickle is the Tona. C50 has a photo mode switch like the R5C, so C50 for the win. Even the C50 has a photo switch? It does? Dude, that's insane. I didn't know that. Oh, I see there. Wow, that's wild to me. Yeah, so 100% the win. Why not? Yeah, that's crazy to me. One battle after another is not my thing. I have no desire to see it. There Will Be Blood is one of my top 10 favorite films. Wow, saving cinema. I don't know if you're going to save cinema with saying shit like that, bro. But yeah, no, 100%. There Will Be Blood is probably my second favorite movie of all time. I used to own multiple copies of it on Blu-ray, DVD, because there was all these different editions they kept putting out, different covers. I had them all. And then, yeah, well, when I moved to LA, I lost that shit. But I don't know, man. I think one battle after another, it's certainly a different species of a movie. And I don't think it's about what you think it's about. And maybe you're just from a different part of the world. But I don't know. It's definitely one of the best movies I've seen in a very long time. I just watched One Battle After Another today. It's one of my favorite films this year for sure in the past few years. 100%. Every Leo movie runs insane. I guess they got to make an epic film to cover his rate. I don't know, though, about this one because I feel like this is the first time that Leo DiCaprio has worked with P.T. Anderson. Is it not? I feel like this is the first time he's ever been in a P.T. Anderson movie. I'm pretty sure about that. And so I don't know who holds the bigger weight here, P.T. Anderson or Leo. You know what I'm saying? In terms of like who's like, who's running that money game here. And I really think it's P.T. Anderson because I feel like he is just like a force to be reckoned with. He kind of always has been. Like he just fucking bamboozled his, like he came in like a force to be reckoned with. You know, I mean, from the beginning, really, right out the gate, like really right out the gate, with the fucking Boogie Nights shit. You know what I mean? And Magnolia, like he just came like booming out the gate, and so I don't know. I feel like P.T. Anderson is more of like what's pulling the cards here, and I'm only saying this because that's my way of saying like I feel like Leo, you know, just thinking of it from like an actor standpoint, when you get to work with someone of that caliber, like P.T. Anderson, I feel like, and I don't know, I could be wrong about this, and we all know, there's certainly nowadays, there's a lot of crazy videos coming out about Leo, you know, because he went to what's-his-face's wedding and shit, you know what I mean? So there's some shit coming out about that, you know, because he was supposed to be all for the environment, and like all this shit about him being obsessed with money. But at the same time, like, he's also an actor, and he's been an actor for a very, very long time, since he was literally a child. So I do think that he would, I would like to think that he would, you know, back down from that rate a little bit, knowing that he's going to work on this movie specifically and with P.T. Anderson. And I think that P.T. Anderson is a big enough juggernaut to where that would happen. You know what I mean? I think. I could be wrong about that though. Probably am, but I don't know. That would just be my guess on it. But to say that, I don't think Leo is the reason for a lot of this budget. Again, if you see the movie, it is a little nuts in terms of what they do in it. 161 minutes. Yeah, it's very long, but I will say it goes by very fast. It goes by super fast. You don't realize it. And I had to piss before the movie started, and I thought, fuck, this is bad. Because I knew how long it was from looking at because it tells you on the ticket thing, the virtual ticket stuff. It was like 2 hours and 41 minutes or something. And that number was being burned in my brain as the movie was beginning, because I just have this fear of like going and then not making it back in time. I don't know. And then the biggest anxiety for me comes out of like coming into the theater when the movie has started and you're the fucking guy walking across. Like, I'm like, that is like the biggest, like, that's the thing my body can't handle. Like, honestly, like it would probably, like, if that was to ever happen to me, like, because this theater was packed. It was fucking packed. So I'm just thinking like, dude, if I don't make it back in time, because sometimes my pee lasts way too long, and you're like, fuck, this is a 10-minute long piss now. I waited too long. So I'm just like, if I don't make it back in time, I'm gonna get like stricken with anxiety as I'm walking across this fucking like theater, and I'm gonna get like frozen. You know, like that has happened to me before. Like, this used to happen to me okay, it's now I know like people are gonna now we're gonna get to some personal shit here, but just to tell you the level of anxiety that I have and that I've had since I was a young child. So when I used to go to the mall, right, when I'd go to the mall, and there would be like a wall of people walking towards me, and this still happens to me sometimes. Sometimes this will still happen to me, but I've found like ways to cope with it. Anyways, anywhere busy where you go and there's a wall of people walking towards me, it causes me to have such high levels of anxiety that when I was a kid, I would nearly pass out. So like if there was like a wall of people walking towards me in the mall, I would get so like freaked out, like frozen. I would get so lightheaded. I would have to like beeline for the wall, and grab onto the wall and to save me from falling on my face, you know, because I could feel myself getting so lightheaded I was going to fall over. And it was all because there was people walking towards me and I couldn't see a way out. I was like, fuck, there's a wall of people and there was no way to get through them. And that's all my brain is thinking about. And that's the type of anxiety that I have if I walk into like a theater where the movie is on and you're like, fuck, and it's packed and I'm like the one asshole walking across. Like, I know that would happen. Like, the anxiety would be too much to bear and I would probably faint down in the middle of the thing. And then it would be, oh my God, now it's all about this guy fainting. It would be bad on so many levels. So I did not get up. I tell you all that to tell you, no, I did not get up to piss. And then I was frozen there for the fucking 3-hour long movie. But what I will tell you is that it was so good that I didn't really think about it again until it was over. And then I instantly was like, fuck, I gotta piss so bad. But yes, it is a long fucking movie, dude. But it's done really well where you don't really feel it lagging. I didn't, and I had a full bladder from the beginning. So that says something, right? I felt heavy Midnight Run inspiration in One Battle After Another for sure. PTA said it was one of his inspirations. Midnight Run. Oh, I didn't think about that. Oh, that's killer. I forgot about Midnight Run. Hold up, let me look this up real quick. Yes, dude, I forgot about this movie. Oh, yeah, that makes so much sense, dude. This old-ass De Niro movie. I forgot about this movie. Interesting. Now I want to watch this again. I forgot. Yeah, this is the cover I had. I forgot about this movie because when I was a kid, I had like every Robert De Niro DVD. I had them all. I was obsessed with De Niro. I had every Robert De Niro movie. I had every Andy Kaufman movie. I had every Scorsese film. I was obsessed with De Niro. I had every Al Pacino movie. I was obsessed with Al Pacino. I was like a 14-year-old kid watching Dog Day Afternoon. My mom was like, "What the fuck are you watching?" Oh shit. Howdy y'all. Messed up shoulder has kept me on the sidelines. How is everyone? John 2001. I'm so sorry. I just not see the John 2001 in the house. He's the man, bro. Oh, we're just talking shit in here, bro. You know how it is. I almost got the XH2S for the same reason. Loved everything from it, but got a Z8 instead and love it for the raw video and can ninja shots with it. Great frame rates too. That's right. That's right. I don't know, man. Everyone, it is cool rocking the ninja with it. I don't know if that's what you're talking about. John, you said you messed up your shoulder, bro. You got to take care of yourself, bro. Ice, then cold. Or no, what is it? I said the same thing. No, what is it the doctor always say? Cold, then warm. Warm, then cold. One of those. I almost got the XH2S for the same reason. Loved everything from it. Yo, excited for the new Affleck film, The Rip. Shit looks crazy. Affleck film, The Rip. Are you Yo, I brought up Ben Affleck, but I'm not really into Ben Affleck. You know that, right? Nah, he's okay. He's actually a really good director, honestly. I feel like he's a better director than he is an actor. Oh, so this is with Matt Damon. And yeah, most of the things, if Matt Damon is attached to it, it seems like Matt has the ability to pull good things out of Ben Affleck. But I don't know. He is one of the producers, but they're both producers because they're actors in it. I do think that he's a much better director than an actor. I will say that publicly. But yeah, I remember this now. Yeah, a group of Miami cops. Yeah, it looks interesting. Nikon Edition. That's what the NE stands for. Thank you, Lonely Wrist. NE equals Nikon Edition. That's right. Yo, Tim, Red has profiled the sensor. Okay, so Red profiled the sensor and added the color matrix in metadata to give the image a more red-like color science so it slots in with the other reds. That's right. That's right. I think Phil Holland was talking about that too. Stop hating on my new camera. Tacos meow. Tacos meow. What is your new camera, bro? I've talked shit about so many cameras tonight. You'll have to tell me. There were so many on the dais that we just fucking shat all over, dude. I believe the new RGB-W also allows for much higher quality 8K, 4K than other 12K sensors. Yeah, that's what they're saying. Also, the lost color information is made up somehow. Great CVP video battle, or maybe it was Media Division. Yeah, probably CVP. What's up, Waxer? Someone mentioned it way earlier. They clarified it. It was something about the white pixel giving it more dynamic range or some shit like that. But with a Super 16 sensor, that would be dope. Use the pocket with 8-64 Canon lens. Yeah, it's a Super 16 sensor. The same as a digital Bolex, dude. Telling you, that digital Bolex was nuts. Where'd that go? Right there. Ooh, that's a hottie boy. And look at that. It's got full-size XLRs. It's crazy. Fucking 3 of them, dude. It's the Fairchild sensor. Yup, 100%. Only lens I wish I never sold. PTA holds the weight if Wes holds the weight. Wes Anderson? Boo, dude. Dude, man. No, man. And this is another thing I was gonna. This is another thing I'll say about P.T. Anderson, is that he didn't grow stagnant. You know what I mean? Like, he's not growing stagnant at all. And I feel like guys like Wes Anderson, even guys like Scorsese, honestly, it feels like they hit a peak and they're just like, I'm good. You know, like Coppola, like Friends, like it just seems like they get to a point where they just like, it's kind of like they're done evolving almost. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Whereas P.T. Anderson is like, he never stops evolving, dude. He just keeps going and going. It's pretty cool to see, man. It's really wild. You know what I equate it to? I equate it to guys like Beck. You know, like if you think about musicians, like Beck is one of those musicians, like he's so crazy. Like every album he puts out, it's like a totally different genre. It's like, dude, it's a different musician every time. You're like, what the fuck is going on with this guy? And then you just realize, like, he's just like, is he like a musical genius? This is crazy. You know what I mean? Where it's like, and that's kind of like what I've always, I guess, admired about, you know, artists, I guess, is where it's like, damn, like they just keep evolving. Something to be said about that, you know? Whereas guys, other people, like, you know, I don't know, like you look at Wes Anderson, it feels like they find something that works and then they just want to keep doing that. It's like, okay, we'll just keep doing that. It's like the Mr. Beast mentality, you know? He found out what worked, and then let's just keep doing that. And that's great, right? That works for you. But when you're an artist, it's like, I don't know, like, I mean, I understand it both ways. It's like, okay, you found out what works, you know, don't change it if it's not broken, right? We all get that philosophy. But I don't know, there's something to be said about being like, dude, let's hit another record. You know what I mean? Like let's hit another bell, or like let's go on another level. You know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to say? It's just like just keep going higher. And that's something to be said about I think people like Kendrick Lamar even. It's like dude, the bar is like they keep pushing past it, is I guess what I'm trying to say, and I feel like a lot of people in Hollywood, when they hit a certain level of fame or whatever it may be, I feel like they just get kind of relaxed maybe, and they're just like, no, I'm good right here, dude. It's like I don't feel like P.T. Anderson is doing that. You know what I mean? Because he's been in the game a long time, as long as the rest of these guys. And it's like, well, not as long as Scorsese. Scorsese's getting old. I think we all know that at some point too, like you hit a certain age where you're just like, and that kind of is also a reason why, like, hey, go fuck yourself. I'm gonna do what I want. And that should be applauded as well. Who cares? But I just think like, yeah, PTA always like going higher, dude. I love that. Yes, dude. Wes been making the same movie. Yeah, dude, that's what I'm saying. Inherent Vice is a highly underrated film. I wish I could say the same. That's like the only movie of PTA that I'm just like, nah. And I think it's because I just can't understand what anyone is fucking saying in that movie. Like, maybe I have to watch it with subtitles turned on. It's just like, I cannot figure out what the fuck people are saying in that movie. It feels like they're all just mumbling. It was like really hard to like pay attention to. PTA is a critical darling for good reason. Box office star, not. Yeah. But I mean, like, his shit is like, that's what I'm saying. This is like the Oscar level, it's the same as like when There Will Be Blood came. It's like fucking sweeped, dude. There Will Be Blood. And I feel like this movie's going to do the same fucking thing. No doubt about it. But that's what gives you the Hollywood cred. You know what I mean? That Oscar bait is what gets you you know what I mean? That is the cheddar. You know what I'm saying? That is the cheddar in this business, Yeah, the hot and cold works, but the drugs are amazing. I've seen some dreams that are full color mass. John 2000 got the good drugs. He's seeing dreams in RGBW 16K, bro. Yeah, for $5,500, it's an insane spec camera with high frame rates and big dynamic range. Hope the other camera companies will actually take notice this time. You talking about the Canon C50? Wait, hold up. I'm lost. I don't know which one is $5,500. Are we back to the black magic bullshit? I love how Justin's talking about actual films and half of us just keep leaving comments about gear. Yeah, dude. I go down some rabbit holes talking about movies, bro. You already know that. Okay, guys. It's going on that 2-hour mark. Please hit the like button. Share the video around. Tell people about the live streams. Oh, the Pixis 12K is 5,500. Yeah, bro. 5,500, dude. I just can't imagine. I can't imagine being in the Black Magic army. And I know that's dumb. That's so dumb of me. But you guys know I'm dumb. I am dumb. I choose to be I take a stance. And I'm the type of dude that, I don't know, sometimes there's some stances where I'll die by it, bro. I was listening to a Kendrick Lamar song. We'll say this and then we'll leave. There was a Kendrick song where he talks about like even if his grandma goes against what he agrees on, he's cutting his grandma out, bro. I love that shit, dude. Yeah, dude. Even if grandma says different, dude, I say what I say goes. Even if grandma doesn't get with it, she's out, bro. That's so funny to me, dude. Oh man, okay, we'll leave on that. All right, guys, no joke. Call your grandmas if they're still around. Don't take that seriously. You the man, take it easy. I'm going to Dreamland. All right, John 2000 now. All right, guys.